What is up, everyone? My name is C. Jared Holmes, and I'm coming to you with a new series that will be weekly, bi-weekly, who knows at this point, but it is Scream Sessions. I am a avid lover of the horror genre, and I know so many other people that love horror as well, so I figured I'd come on, do a little interview series with horror fans, horror creators, and hopefully people that have worked in horror movies. Um, my first guest, he doesn't need any introduction. You can find him on all social media platforms at I underscore just underscore Chris 91. One of my bestest friends in the entire world. Chris, how are you today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm excited for this first project. I'm on as a guest for you. Normally, we're co-hosting things, as
Yeah,
everybody sees, so it's weird to be on this side of things.
it is. It is. I've never interviewed anybody. You're my first ever. Well, I do it my real life, my gimmick job, my RL job, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, just gonna ask you some questions here about the portrait, or wide range of questions here. I'm gonna start off with a simple one. What's gonna start off with All Star? What got you into horror? Like, was it a movie? Was it a show? Was it an experience? Like, what really got you into the horror genre?
So when I was a child, I was super afraid of everything, right? Like my parents used to troll me with Tales from the Crypt. Like that would come on, that music would hit and I'd run down the hallway screaming. So growing up, like as a kid, I wasn't really into it. But once I hit like a teenager, I'm like I'm going to start challenging myself to step out of my comfort zone with these things, like I was like I want to see how much I can stomach and kind of gradually grow from there. And I remember and I don't remember when it came out, what age I was, but the first one I really got into that like solidified it for me was it was, and this is an unpopular one. It was Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's Dead. I know a lot of people hate that one. I know. A lot of people hate that one, but just so many of the comic-y aspects and it made me laugh and it made it more than just the fright. So from there, I delve into the whole Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. I remember seeing Freddy versus Jason in theaters in junior high and stuff like that. And from there, it just kind of took off. I became a really big slasher fan, the Jasons, the Michael Myers, and all the stuff like that. And then from there, it kind of spawned. But yeah, Freddy's Dead is where it all started.
And you already know, Nightmare's your favorite movie, right? Like
Yes, Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street three Dream Warriors. That's my favorite of all time. But the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise as a whole is my favorite. Yeah.
and what massive takes you to the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise? So, like,
I think it's a lot of it is just like ah, it's a part. It's like 50% the concept of it. The kill you in your sleep. The this man who was burned for being a child murderer comes back and haunts all these teenagers and stuff. But then it's also the storytelling. I feel like every time you watch a Nightmare on Elm Street, though they are similar, no one is exactly like the other, and you're getting new characters, and you're getting different stories, different variants, people coming and going, and such like that. Because you have stuff like Halloween, which it follows the Laurie Strode story, minus like Halloween 3, but like that's, the main focal point. That's where like Nightmare on Elm Street, you're getting a whole bunch of different, people going after Freddy and such like that and the different messages. So I think it's just the versatility of it.
I like Nightmare to an extent. I'm not the biggest Freddy fan, honestly. I like three and four being my favorite. The original one's kind of hit or miss for me. Same as the rest of the franchise. Love Freddy versus Jason. Um, but what's your favorite horror subgenre? Like, there's found footage, there's slashers, there's paranormal.
Yeah, I would say for sure found footage. I like the real aspect of it, like obviously as I've said, like one of my favorite of all time, top three or maybe top five, not top three, is Creep, and that was one
I
you
mean,
introduced me to.
top four on your letterbox history, by the way.
Oh, that's true. See, okay, there we go. Top. It is top four for me. Creep is just up. It's a phenomenal movie. So the psychological aspect, but just it's that whole feeling of this looks real. It feels real. You know what I mean? So when you watch your Hell Houses, your Frogmans, your Creeps, the VHS movies, all of it has that aspect that gives you a little bit of an extra scare because the POV of it just looks so like I'm watching somebody's home movie kind of deal, and I love that about it.
Found footage is okay. It's so hit and miss for me. So hit and miss. And some I like, but
Yeah.
there's more I hate than I do like. Um, I know Freddy's probably your favorite horror villain, but what's your second favorite horror villain?
Oh man, that's tough because growing up, it was Freddy, and then I would have to say Michael Myers. Like Michael Myers comes in at it, and it's kind of tied, right? It's kind of tied for me because it's like Michael Myers and Ghostface because Ghostface was, big in the '90s, and that was the era I grew up in. So I saw all the screams and everything, and I followed that. Michael Myers, I think it was just because that was my dad's favorite when I was younger, and that was the one he would always like. He owned the mask and the jumpsuit, and he would scare us when we were kids. So it's kind of like a core memory of like being freaked out when I was younger. But yeah, I would say Michael Myers or Ghostface are like 2 and 2.5, 2A and 2B.
And the horror movies is all about the kills a lot of the times. Like it's about the scare, but for me it's about the kills. I'm a big like gore fan, like I love bloody kills. What is your
Yeah.
all-time favorite horror movie kill?
It would
Or just
have to
some
be,
that
and
you like?
it's from a movie that I don't even like, and I've shit on this movie countless times. Um, and I know you disagree because you have sung its praise. In A Violent Nature, it's that yoga scene, like that where he just hooks the head fucking through her body, folds her up, and rolls her down the hill. Like that was just so gruesome and detailed, and it just something, bro. I don't even know, but like that movie as a whole, I hated it because I feel like it could have been done so much better. But I have to give it a little edge for the fact that it was an independent film. Um, but that singular kill is one of those that will stick with me for the rest of my time watching movies.
Dude, I love it. An all-timer for sure. And you're a big Freddy fan. What is your favorite Freddy one?
It's Oh man, it's not even from any of the main Nightmare on Elm Street movies. It's from New Nightmare, and it's when he pops up. I forgot where they were. They were in some kind of like tomb or something, and he pops up and he says, "I've got some gingerbread for you." Don't know why for my whole life that stuck with me, but it has, and that it makes me laugh every time, and I always look forward to it when I'm watching that movie.
Mine's a little bit basic. Mine's Welcome to Prom Time, bitch. Like that's just a staple,
That's valid. That is, yeah. I don't know for sure. He's had a lot of them too,
Yeah.
but like for some reason that one has my entire childhood and everything since has stuck on that one.
What is a horror movie you consider underrated? Like everyone that's watching right now, what is one movie that's lesser known that people should go watch?
It's just tough because I want to say, see, I've got like I would have to say the Creep tapes, not the show, but like the two movies. Because when I've talked to a lot of people and I'm not talking like avid horror movie lovers like yourself or Taylor Complains or the others that we know. I'm talking like the casual horror watchers. Anytime I've ever asked somebody if they've seen Creep, they've never seen it. And that to me is like one of those you have to see as a horror movie fan because it's that psychological horror. It's that like you don't have to focus too much on the details but it's all right there, but at the same time like you're going to want to watch it over and over.
I
I'm
agree.
still holding out for Creep 2. Creep 2 coming up in our movie watch list soon.
True. Which our movie watch list is probably going to be good by the time it's come down. So go watch Scary Noir. We'll have our ranking. Um,
Mm.
I agree though. The creep tapes are really slept on, especially well, in the you know the basement where the horror fans like we've all seen them, but like for the general audience, I definitely think not enough people have seen them. But on the flip side of that, what's a movie that you consider overhyped that a lot of people love?
Oh. Are we talking like one movie? Or are we talking like a series of movies?
Just
Like, what are we saying?
just one movie.
One movie?
It could be a movie from a franchise. It could be any.
See, that's kind of tough because I feel like there's so many of them. A lot of the Halloween movies I feel like are severely overrated. Um, I feel like with and this is something that we've talked about with these legacy movies like that, like the OGs, because everybody's argument is always they were good for their time. And I feel like at that point you have to put yourself in that mindset. Um, but if I'm gonna go one singular movie, you have me like scratching my brain here because oh man. I'm gonna I'm gonna say the first Halloween movie. I think that even though it was a staple of the horror genre, um, going back and watching it now from when I was younger, it's not as good as I remember it. But again, it was one of those. It was good for its time. So, but it gets a lot of praise. Everybody kind of like talks about it like it's one of the best of all time, and I'm like, it's really not when you look at what's been done since. So.
I agree wholeheartedly. But who's your favorite father of all time?
That's tough. There's some bias coming in because it's got to be Nancy Thompson for me, man. Like that was the first one I was heavily invested in because of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Seeing her return in Dream Warriors, seeing her in New Nightmare, it was all just like I still pop for it. So I would have to go Nancy Thompson.
Yeah, I think it's overrated. Alice is much better in my opinion.
There's an argument there. I will give you that. After rewatching, there is an argument for it for sure. But I think it's just for me, it was that I remember Nancy more from like when I was younger, like as opposed to Alice, like she was phenomenal.
All right, if you could reboot or remake any film, if you could have like a make a wish, I guess you could call it, to
Oh,
remake or reboot any film, what would it be? You only get one, only one.
reboot as in like a sequel?
Yeah, or remake.
Oh man. See, I don't want to keep harping on Nightmare on Elm Street because I fucking hated the remake that they did. I thought it was garbage. I thought they tried too hard to modernize it. Jackie Earl Haley, and the story that they rewrote for Freddy. So I won't go that route. I won't go that route. Okay. But I think what I would love to see if I'm not gonna focus solely on that series, 'cause I feel like I'm glazing it way too much. I'm gonna go with I want to see a sequel to People Under the Stairs because I know that was we just watched it. You had seen it. Um, I don't think it was your first time. I think you had watched it a long time ago because you were remembering key points and stuff. I want to see what happens. After this horrible this horrible family's house blows up and all this money goes back to the people and stuff, and you've got all these basement dwellers who have had been disfigured and stuff over time being fed human remains. They're released back into society. What the fuck happens? Like, does Fool's mom get the operation she needs? Do they get out of the ghetto? Do these people return to society and be functioning members, or do they go on a crazy murder spree? I would love to see the effects of that.
apparently, back before the pandemic had the writer's strike, Jordan Peele was going to develop some type of thing to be one of those games. I don't know if
That
that's
would have been
over or
legendary.
what, but there's nothing else been announced. Just there was like talks about it.
One thing I am excited about, and I was sent this, and I think I sent it to you, was that Sleepaway Camp is getting a reboot, being done by like Keenan Thompson's company or something like that.
I don't know how I feel about
And I'm kind of like I'm iffy. If done right, I think it would be phenomenal. But we have seen many a time where they reboot a series, like a movie, and it's ass. So
what horror setting creeps you out the most? So like the woods and the buildings, the water, like what type of horror movie setting creeps you out the most?
oh man, I anything to do with open waters. You know what I mean? Because if you're on a boat and something happens, bro, there's nowhere to go but down. Um, there's many ways that you can die in that scenario. Uh, Creatures in the water, and just yeah. I would say anything to do with the open water, the lakes. Woods would come a close second, just because like you never know where you're going. You never know what you're gonna run into, kind of deal. But yeah, open water.
Two more questions before we wrap it up here. What horror movie changed how you saw the genre?
See, I feel like I'm a creature of habit because I keep going back to certain movies. But when we talk about the found footage genre, right? I grew up in an era where the most popular one was the Blair Witch Project. And I fucking hated that movie. And then as I'm coming up and I'm older, Paranormal Activity takes over. And I fucking hated those movies. I hated the found footage genre for that reason because I thought this was, it's all spiritually campy stuff. Like that was the main stuff they were pushing. And then you introduced me to Creep, and that shaped my whole view on the found footage genre because before I thought it was just for this ghost hunting or spiritual shit because I didn't want to branch out because those movies were so bad. Fuck Paranormal Activity. Sorry, not sorry, hugs. Um, but yeah, no, it would have to be Creep for the found footage genre for me.
And final question, a fun one here. If you had to survive one horror movie universe for 24 hours, which one are you picking and why?
Oh man. I'm trying to think of something
You
that
can't say Nightmare on Elm Street because you
oh
sleep
yeah,
all the
no.
time.
I would I'd be dead. I would be. Oh man, that would get me for sure.
And you
I would
can't
not
say
pick that.
Army of Darkness because you don't like Batista. I got it in there.
You did. You did get it in there. Um See, that's really tough because I'm trying to think about because obviously I'm trying to survive against whatever the killer or the villain. Um
You could pick It Follows because you probably don't get laid much, so you won't never get the sexually transmitted disease.
That's valid. That is valid for sure. But I could be easily seduced. So
Say,
for that reason, um, dude, I think give me 24 hours. Give me Derry from It. Like he preys on your fears. If you're not afraid of
you,
him,
you're scared of clowns, though.
I could do okay. I could do okay.
You think
I
so?
just only got to make 20. I only got to make 24 hours. This Joker only comes back like a week every 25 years. I just got to make it one day. I'm good. He's gonna freak me the fuck out in those 24 hours, but he's not gonna kill me. He might if he knows he only has 24 hours. But I'm gonna go with Derry.
It's not a bad choice. That's not a bad choice. I don't know what I'd pick. I don't know what I'd pick off the top of my head. But this has been an episode of Scream Sessions with Jared Home, with special guest. I'm _just_ Chris 91. Any final says? Where can people follow you at?
You can follow me on all social media platforms with the same username he just said at I'm _Jess_Chris91 on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. You can find my letterbox. Like, there's all these different platforms that I am there. So yeah, go check me out. Stream video games, horror games mostly, and I go live. You can come jump scare me.
Before we wrap up, we're gonna end on what is your biggest horror take or movie hot take? Piss people off before we end the video here.
My biggest horror movie hot take: Michael Myers is one of the most overrated killers of all time.
Awesome. Thank you for the clip. Y'all have a great day, great week, and I'll catch you in the next episode. That's Scream Sessions with the Jared Holmes.